There are so many versions of you in hundreds of people that have known you or crossed paths with you, and none of these versions is truly accurate or complete, not even from the people closest to you. People only see you with their own perceptions of the world, and no one will ever get to see the full percentage of who you are. You are an infinite being, complex, with so many parts of you, who is always changing and evolving. And you will live this entire life without anyone really getting to know the totality of who you are. And that's okay. And even though in this life there's gonna be moments where you're gonna feel seen for who you are, I feel that we're misunderstood most of our lives, even if we're aware of it or not. And we should be okay with that. Because people don't see you as you are. People see you as they are. It's inevitable to be judged by the assumptions and speculations of other people. Also, people may create distorted versions of you from their own perceptions of the world and from their own perceptions of how they see you. Even in a single conversation or in a single situation where you are talking about something, the other person may interpret whatever you're saying from whatever perspective they have of the world and whatever perspective they have of you based on how they see you. So to me, understanding this, it gives me peace. It allows me to relax, speaking as intentional as I can without the need to over-explain myself. Accepting the fact that being misunderstood is just part of life and being okay with not needing to prove anything to anyone anymore. People may try to figure you out. Our society needs to be able to put you in a box to make sense of you and trying to piece together the puzzle of who you are. People love to put you in a box. It helps them make sense of things. To me, what's very ironic about this is that the more you identify with the person you think you are, the less room is there for your own expansion. So yeah, I definitely have seen a lot of people that try to make one aspect of their lives becoming their whole entire personality. Making their career their entire personality, their sexuality, their nationality, the amount of money that they make, their body, their entire personality, their favorite music genre, their entire personality, their favorite soccer team, their entire personality, and so on. It can happen in so many levels. And it creates this fake identity that limits you from ever wanting to do or to try or to be something more than just that thing. And I believe this is because of the need to make sense of yourself, of who you are. It's great to love what you do, where you come from, what you like, but then the mind tries to attach to these things and give them excessive importance. And this happens to all of us at some point, trying to have something define ourselves. And it's usually with a thing that you feel connected to or that you feel that it resonates with you. And I mentioned before some identities that the small self or ego likes to identify itself with. Some can be harmless, but others can become more dangerous. People identifying themselves completely with their religion, their political party, their movement, it can get rough. And it might come from craving so much to have that feeling of having a sense of belonging. And I believe it happens to all of us at one point in our lives when we don't really know who we are. And our small self tries to cling onto these things and identify itself with them. For example, I cannot stop but seeing this on people that always had this reputation of being good. And I can definitely identify myself with this in my past. Those people that always carried with them the name and the reputation of being good or being a good person. That reputation that they hold so dear but keeps them from trying to do or trying to be anything other that might contradict the fact that they are good, denying themselves parts of them that they want to explore, but that would contradict the image others have of them, forcing themselves to be non-reactive, more passive, or suppressing those parts of themselves and parts of their personality that are more assertive. This again creates a cage for themselves that it's hard to escape, because since it's not expected of them to do anything bad or to get angry or upset, they start bottling up all these emotions. And many times the people that label themselves as good don't set boundaries for themselves and they become people pleasers, or are afraid to lean into tension with other people because it would make them look as if they are not good, not standing up for themselves. because it would be against their character that they had been playing all along. These identifications, whatever they may be, hold you back from being all that you are. It happens similarly in the spiritual community too. Those people that are too attached to the concept of what being spiritual is, having an idea in their mind of what it's like to be spiritual, maybe only behaving in a way that it's gentle and soft and denying themselves their more assertive nature, wanting to talk and be more like a monk even though it's not natural for them. The mind creates this persona. Sometimes this happens and the spiritual ego takes place and it becomes performative. And now they feel the pressure from others to behave a certain way, or only dressing and talking in a specific way that it's expected for a spiritual person to be like. You are not meant to mimic or to copy what you think the personality of a monk or the Buddha is. You can be very spiritual and connected to Source without stop being your authentic self. Light doesn't need to look like light. And many times, it's all ego, it's not their truth. People are so unique and complex, and once we accept this about ourselves, we liberate ourselves from the expectations that other people have of us, not needing to be anything at all. And these ego identifications, we see them everywhere, and they only create separation. A person that identifies themselves as good unconsciously start to create this sense of superiority and judgment towards people that don't live life the way they do. Some religious groups are a good example of this. Instead to focus on the teachings, they focus on judging, on the differences. And at the end, it's all ego. Someone who truly knows themselves, they don't need to label themselves as anything. And they don't need an identification to tell them who they are. And you also don't need other people to be like you. And don't get me wrong, these are all parts of you, parts that shaped you. Your hometown, your country, your sexuality, your friends, your upbringing, your family, your career. Maybe you've been dancing all your life. Maybe you love reading books. These are all parts of you, but you are so much more than just that. I believe the problem is when we make this our whole personality, or when we label ourselves as any of these specific aspects in our lives. These are all parts of you, your history, experiences that shaped you, things you felt connected with, but they don't define you. They are or were just part of your evolution. Anyways, this is why I find integration so beautiful. When we finally accept all these contradicting parts of ourselves, and we give them space to live harmonically within us, we stop suppressing characteristics of us. A personality trait, a hobby, or an interest for not being in tune with the other parts of ourselves. We understand that we can be all of this and we can allow all these different parts to coexist together. You can be a gym rat and also be very creative and artistic. Two truths can be true at once. You can like both pop and rock and house and classical music. You can be very spiritual and love to be in silence, but maybe you also love techno and going to a rave. And you can be very ambitious and driven and also be very kind and generous, and you also like to be in service for humanity. One doesn't need to necessarily cancel the other out. And we are at a time where we are taking action in different ways, that we want to make a positive impact in whatever way that is for you. Don't just walk someone else's path. Find yours. If you truly know you're in alignment, there is no one else's opinion that you need to validate what you're doing. Don't expect that someone else's path is the path that you need to walk. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone. We all have specific gifts and qualities, and it's only us that can decide to make use of them. There are infinite parts of you within you if you just stay open to them. So don't make the mistake to define yourself as one thing. There is nobody stopping you to become everything that you want to be. You can be all of it. And society wants to put you in a box so bad that when you leave that box, they will try to make sense of you and try to put you in a different one. Like Terence McKenna said, culture is not your friend. Society doesn't play on your favor, on your expansion. Society is rooted in keeping the status quo, in keeping conformity, in keeping things how it's always been. And many times when we see again people from our past, no matter how much we have grown and expanded from the last time we saw each other, we see that all patterns and behaviors that we already outgrew start to resurface again when we are with them. Maybe you start to behave in ways that you already outgrew or start to feel out of character. And I believe this is not you exactly, but these are the beliefs they have of you. And even though you're not this person anymore, their beliefs create their reality. So when this happens, there is no need to feel attacked or constrained. When you feel that people in your life are projecting an old version of you, that feeling of being caged because of other people's projections of you. When you get this feeling of contraction and limitation, staying grounded within your own frame of reality is key, and maybe a sign that your life is calling for more expansion somewhere else. And you might have put people in cages too based on your own perceptions, having them too as prisoners based on your own perceptions of them, but they are just not aware of it. So be compassionate and try to not put people in boxes as well. And when I say you can be all of it, what I mean is that whatever excites you and that you feel is calling you, you should lean into it and explore it. But this doesn't mean to force something to fit, a hobby or a job or a sport that doesn't really work for you, but just because it looks cool. The ego loves to confuse you that this is what you want. We all have things that are aligned with us specifically, and other things that, no matter how much we force them, are not for us in this lifetime. Like me, for example, I was not designed to be a mathematician or a lawyer or a engineer or a race car driver. I just wasn't built for any of these things and many more. I believe each person arrived here on this earth with a specific blueprint, a set of qualities and unique gifts that we can tap into and express them in physical form. And instead of trying really hard on the things that we are not good at or that are not our strength, we should dive deep into those things that we are naturally good at and that are calling us, and be open to more and to explore those interests without shame. If something calls our interest, we go for it, no matter how different it is from what we have been doing in the past. This is why I believe it's so important to leave your hometown or live outside the place where you were born at least once in your life. How are you ever gonna know who you really are, all your potential and all your complexity, if you never really give it space to find out? This is why when people move out of their cities to a new place where they don't know anyone, this is a huge opportunity for them to get to know who they really are without any story or past projections from other people. In my past, every single one of my faces, it was all very true to me. When I used to row back in college, I was so into it. When I used to party a lot while living in New York and go out, I had so much fun. But then when I dived deep into my healing journey and wanting to be at peace, far away from everyone, just be with my own energy, it was also very true to me. All these phases of my life were very true at one point in my evolution. And it doesn't mean that one phase was less true than another because it was different. It was all authentic and true at one point. There is people that I love that today I hope I never get to see them again. And that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy their company or that I didn't have fun with them at one point in my life. We evolve and move towards other things and places and people that are more in alignment with us. And we shouldn't be afraid of change and of letting go. And even though these are completely different parts of myself now, these are all things that were very real and important to me at one point. And you are not being fake or pretending to be someone you're not because you're having a completely different life now. So respect and honor the phase in your life that you're in, even if it contradicts previous versions of who you were. All these contradicting parts of you can coexist harmonically in the same person. So even if you're misunderstood, stay grounded within your own frame of reality if someone else is projecting an old version of you. It's crucial to hold your center when other people are projecting onto you that you're being inauthentic because you're a different version of you now. You don't need to mold yourself because you already represented a different version of you to other people. That would be limiting yourself. Just let others misunderstand you. The more you let go of their opinions, the easier it is for you. And sometimes the stronger the slander and the people talking their BS about you, the deeper the opportunity for your transformation. The deeper you can get to experience the real you, alchemizing everything. And we change all the time. I am not the same person I was a year ago, and I will probably not be the same person that I am today a year from now. But the essence of you always remains. The only constant is change. Every moment there's a new you. And every new decision we make opened infinite different paths. Our path keeps unfolding with more opportunities that we haven't seen before as we walk. But this comes after deciding that we want more for ourselves. Staying curious to what could be and what we could become, and staying curious to the unknown. And this blows my mind how we are moving through different timelines with every decision we make and with every thought we choose to accept. Infinite versions of you that you cannot even imagine, all available to you with every move that you make. So try to not get attached to any old identity or to any specific way of doing things, because there is so much more available for you. Who knows, as you start making different decisions, new paths and new visions start to show up for you. And all you need to do is to stay open and receptive. So just let that old story die, whatever it may be. And when something new appears in your path that feels right, go all in. It's okay to change your mind and to change your opinion on things that you used to believe in the past. Because again, you don't belong in a box. You are the universe wanting to express itself through you, to expand itself, and becoming so good at making changes and of letting things and other people that don't serve you for your highest good go. Getting to that point where your life becomes so unpredictable that you don't know what direction it might go anymore in the best way. Let yourself be surprised by your own potential. If you are attached to an old identity, how you've always been, you are blocking yourself from all that you can be. I know for sure you have dormant talents that you have no idea you have yet. So stay open, receptive, and curious. I believe we shouldn't try to be the best that we can, but we should aim to be the most that we can. So don't limit yourself. Embrace your multidimensionality, all aspects of you. Cling to nothing, but celebrate the complexity of the mix of all the infinite parts of you. And this is all my personal opinion, just me and how I see the world. That's all. Let me know what you think in the comments. Consider to like and subscribe for more. Would love to have you around. Thank you for hanging out with me and keep it up. Peace.